The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Spouses working together on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth. Welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the Kernersville Auto Museum. We'll tell you more about the museum later on, and later on when the roundtable shows up, we'll get into all sorts of controversies with them. But what we want to do first is visit with two very special guests, one who's been a visitor with us many times before, many years ago. Darrell Fry is chairman of the Board of Commissioners, and the young man next to him is Zeb Holden, County Manager for Randolph County. And we appreciate both of you coming. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us, Jim.
And good to see you again.
Yes, sir. You too.
Both of you can answer any of these questions. And the first one I want to ask you about, everybody I think knows that economic development is really booming in Randolph County over the last year or two. What makes the county so attractive to business and industry? And maybe give an example of why. What do you think, Darrell?
Jim, I think there's several issues or things that make us attractive. And I would start with our workforce. The quality of the workforce and the quantity of the workforce. They're both there. The work ethic of the Randolph County worker is unmatched.
Yeah.
We're very accessible. If you lift North Carolina on the end of a pencil, it'd be in Randolph County.
Well,
and you can go
right.
north, south, east, or west, and that's made us attractive in particular to distribution. Our schools, our public schools, our Randolph Community College voted #1 in North Carolina.
Absolutely, and Bob Shackelford will be on this show later on in a half hour, and he really helped lead that place.
Absolutely did.
Yeah.
And we're affordable. Our cost of government, our cost of doing business in Randolph County is very affordable. Have
right.
Attractive tax rate. So
yeah.
it all plays into the making us attractive.
That's right, Zeb. I know you want to echo that.
Yeah, certainly. The opportunity in Randolph County is great, and the economic development is really location-based and workforce-driven, I believe. And
you might want to remind folks about the mega site and what's going on out there, because
yes,
that's
the Toyota mega site. It's over in the northeast corner of the county near Liberty, and that's about a $14 billion investment and over 5,000 jobs.
Right. Zeb, how do you, and I'll ask Darrell too, but Zeb, how do you manage to keep sort of the balance of growth and the sort of rural charm of the county at the same time? It seems like an impossible task.
Sure. Randolph County, right in the middle of the Piedmont Triad, is a pretty rural community and always has been. In fact, agriculture is still our #1 economic driver. We want to protect that, but it's just inevitable. The growth is coming, and we're trying to prepare, trying to balance, trying to work with our municipalities so they're prepared to handle the growth, and we can do it strategically.
You know, I was thinking, and I was reading an email the other day from Amy who sent to me that the zoo attracts over 1 million visitors per year, so that makes us think about tourism.
Yes.
How important is the tourism industry?
Very important, and that's growing. I suspect that the North Carolina Zoo, with what's coming on there now, we're going to have a new aviary. We've got the Asian continent coming in next year, 26. After that is Australia, and I expect us to double that very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's bringing other growth to the county with it. We have our Cone Health Zoo City Sportsplex down there. It's packed about every weekend with soccer tournaments.
And that's
around
money.
the state.
That's money coming into the county, and
yes,
and
fills up our hotels.
Right, absolutely.
Restaurants.
And Zeb, as we found out a few weeks ago, we were talking about the agricultural center's new, right?
Very exciting. We're just getting ready to fully open and operate an event center. We have a full campus of an agricultural center. We have some departments housed there, but we also have a 500-seat event center, plus an arena for livestock shows, corporate events, trade shows. A very exciting time for us to be able to host things. As you said, we're in the center of the state. We're in the heart of North Carolina, and we think our location and our facility are top notch.
Absolutely. I want to put something up on screen here before I forget. RandolphCountyNC.gov is the general website. Lots of portals in there take you around to see what's going on in the county, and I hope you will visit that. I want to say one final word about Daryl. Although he has snubbed me for like 15 years, and it's been a long time since you were on the show. But I want to thank you for all your years of community service and public service, and I know it's already rubbing off on this guy here. He's a great county manager.
Well, he was my city manager in Archdale before we brought him to the county.
That's kind of like that's nepotism, isn't it, Zeb?
We came with pre-knowledge there.
That's right. Guys, thanks for all you do.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
We'll be right back after this.
I am so
Why
frustrated.
can no one help me?
Waiting
This is
isn't
a nightmare.
work. I think it's healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. Prestigious doesn't have to be expensive. UNCG. Find your way here.
Back now on Triad Today. Always glad we can spend a few minutes with this lovely lady. She's been on many times before and has such great information for us because she helps so many people, young people. Brandy Kennedy is Chief Scholar Success Officer for Shift Ed. You'll see her boss, Wendy Poteet, on the show in a little while on the roundtable. Good to see you, Brandy.
Good to see you too, Jim.
Remind everybody who may be new to the area and they haven't seen the show what the mission of Shift Ed is and who you serve.
Absolutely. Our mission at Shift Ed is to boldly accelerate student potential. And what that means is ensuring that our students across the Piedmont Triad area have access and are equipped with the resources to ensure that whatever pathway it is that they want to take post-graduation, that they are ready to do so.
Yeah, whether it's continuing with education or going into the workforce, but you want to be ready either
Absolutely.
way. Now, I understand from an email you sent me that the application period for new scholarships has just begun, right?
Yes, it opened on December 1st, so graduating Guilford County School seniors are eligible to apply for some scholarship funds.
Now, when you say they're eligible, does that mean that every graduating senior in Guilford County or about to graduate is eligible, or are there certain requirements that the parents need to tell the kids about?
Yeah, there are absolutely requirements like with anything in life, but we encourage all Guilford County Schools seniors to apply. But the eligibility criteria for our scholarships specifically are that our students from Guilford County School have been enrolled from 9th grade to 12th grade at a public Guilford County School high school.
Okay.
And our scholars must also complete our Shift Ed application. And lastly, they must complete the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. If they meet those three criteria, we will then assess their eligibility for funds.
You told me something one time about something called, I want to read this to make sure I get it right, the last dollar tuition program. What's that? What do you mean?
Yeah, so our scholarship is intended to help support the cost of college. We know that the cost of college is continuing to rise, and cost is honestly the number one barrier. And so our tuition scholarship is intended to support the cost of tuition while recognizing that there are many other great organizations out there that also support students, and we encourage them to apply to those as well.
Right, and you can gather up these scholarships. I mean, it's not like you have to take one over the other if you're lucky enough to get two, maybe. You've talked to me in the past about partnerships, the importance of partnerships, that folks at Shift Ed like you and your team work with partners. Tell me about that and wrap it into this announcement from Elon College.
Absolutely. We are always looking to serve more students, but also to look for different ways that we can expose students to workforce opportunities and post-secondary education. So recently we announced that we will be partnering with Elon College, which is located in Elon, North Carolina, not too far from here, to provide 2 students from Guilford County with the Odyssey Scholarship, which is the opportunity for them to receive all of their books, cost of attendance covered, as well as study abroad opportunity.
Wow, and that's coming from Elon. I think that's great. I've asked you about these things before, but I'm going to do it again. What about feedback? In the work you're doing, do you hear from students, parents, business people, people who have hired people? What kind of feedback in general do you get about scholarship programs, about students that you've helped?
Yeah, so feedback is important so that we can always continue that we're actually serving the community and ensuring that it's impactful. And so one of the ways that we've continued to take feedback and implement it is by increasing our threshold of income for students that are eligible for our scholarship. So last year we announced that our students from families that make $75,000 and below would now be eligible for the Armfield Acceleration Grant, which gives them $1,250 to support their post-secondary education.
Wow. That's
And
neat.
so we have seen a great increase in the number of students that we're able to impact with that change. And so that's just one example of how we're implementing changes to ensure that we're serving the community.
I just think that's great. Up on screen, I want to show you this shift-ed, shifted.org. I hope you'll check that out. It has portals for lots of different information. And also a quick reminder that we talk so much about scholarships, which is very important, but this lady and Wendy, the whole team, do a lot of work with young people, little people, all the way up, you know, getting them ready and preparing them for life, not just education. And I appreciate everything you're doing.
Absolutely. It's important that we equip students with those tools and ensure that they are ready for the workforce.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire. Back now on Triad Today. Always glad we can spend a few minutes with some of the good folks at Alamance Community College, and we have a first-time visitor from the college. Christopher Swinton is department head for accounting and business administration at Alamance Community College. Good to see you, sir.
Sure, thank you. Good to see you too.
Now, you sent me an email and said that you're offering a degree program in what is called forensic accounting and fraud examination. Now, that's a little over my head. What do you mean by that, and how are they different?
Okay, good question. So forensic accounting is like the broad category, and fraud examination fits within the forensic accounting category. So fraud examination, you're going to do things such as the litigation part, which may be part of fraud examination.
Right.
But also risk assessment of the organization. We'll make sure you're in compliance with corporate regulations from the government and
Right.
those kind of things.
Right.
Whereas fraud is particularly focused on, did a crime occur? Then how can we catch those who commit the crime and bring them to justice through the court system?
I got you. Now, what inspired Alamance Community College to launch this program?
Well, just unfortunately, in our day and time, there's a lot of financial crimes going on. You look at the news, you see it all the time. So we wanted to give our students the skills set and the knowledge and equip them to be able to address those needs that are arising in the corporate world.
Right. I think that's so important, and you're right. It's sad that we have to get to that point, but in the sense that you're trying to groom people to be able to deal with this, to help these situations. Forensic accounting and fraud examination, are they considered high growth fields? So if somebody goes through the program that you're giving them at Alamance Community College, they feel pretty comfortable that the demand will be there, or what?
Yeah, so accounting in general is a high growth field. So like if you look at data, it's at a growth rate about 5%, which is higher than the normal job category. And forensic accounting, those kind of specialized areas have even higher growth rate than the general accounting field. So it also pays very well too. There's a premium on the pay for people with skills in forensic accounting and fraud.
Well, this might sound like a stupid question, but what kinds of companies can students with this degree expect to work for?
Okay, so they work from the government, obviously. Got to make sure that's the case. But
Right.
also law firms, accounting firms that specialize in forensic accounting or fraud examination, work for companies themselves who may have their own internal large accounting departments that need to have people with those skill sets.
Right. Now, if somebody already holds a degree in accounting, can they still come and take advantage of this program?
Yes, absolutely. So we offer a certificate as well as a full overall degree. So people already have an accounting background and come in and get a certificate. If people want to come in, if they're currently accountings and need to get more continuing education credits, they come in and take courses that way. Or if they want to sit for the CPA exam, the course we offer at ACC can help them meet their 30 credit hour requirement to sit for the CPA exam. So
okay.
we can cover all bases.
Let me ask you about skills. Give me an example of a particular skill that a student is going to learn in this curriculum.
Okay, so obviously accounting, but beyond accounting, it's really important to have critical thinking skills, the attention to detail, data analysis, being able to look at large chunks of data and make sense of it. And the important part is ethics behind the accounting principles and practices that they oversee.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such an important job to try to oversee this. I'm so glad you're doing it. Let me ask you a personal question before time gets away from us. Who or what led you to this point where you wanted a career in education in this field? Was it a relative, a teacher, or what?
So actually, my wife, my spouse, she's a teacher, so she got me down the path of education, and I went from actually teaching public school, K-12 public school, into the community college field, and she's my inspiration to do it.
Wives are good inspirations, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And where did you teach? What locality?
Oh, Alamance County.
In Alamance County.
Yep.
And then made that leap into what you're doing now. You like what you're doing?
Yes, absolutely.
How come?
Absolutely. To me, it's about helping others achieve their goals. So education is kind of that equalizer that we kind of believe it all to be. If you get a good education, you can then move on and progress in your life and support your family, those kind of things. So.
Absolutely. Up on screen, alamancecc.edu is the general website, alamancecc.edu, and I hope you will visit that and learn more about not only the program that Christopher talked about, but many more things too. Christopher Swinton, thanks for doing this.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, young man. We'll be right back after this.
I got free meals. What do you mean? No, seriously, how much did you pay us? I didn't pay anything. I learned how to cook all of these fresh foods that were delivered to my house. Everything in that grocery bag that's fresh, I had a recipe for, and I know how to cook. It encouraged us to eat better, to shop better, make better decisions.
Back now on Triad Today, I'm a big supporter of, for personal reasons, hospice and the great work that they do. And so I'm very excited about having these two very special guests. And they're special in other ways too. They do a lot of things for great service to families, but they're also married, which you don't often see married people working together, but they do. Kelly Wade is with us. She's a nurse practitioner at Mountain Valley Hospice. Dr. Alex Wade is hospice physician. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. Wade, Alex, let me start with you. Who or what led you to a career in hospice medicine?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's quite a bit of things that led me to hospice. First and foremost is my wife. She'd actually worked at hospice first. And then a good friend who's a physician up in Virginia has worked with hospice. And it's really, for me, it's about relationships to my patients. And I feel like I have all the time in the world to really be there and make a difference in their life.
Same question for you, Kelly.
I was just kind of approaching middle age and starting to go through the loss of my own parents and relatives, family and friends as well. And as I saw that loss, it gave me an interest in helping others through that grief process. And also I had been working in primary care like Alex and found that it was really difficult and stressful to be my best self and be the best provider to people in 15-minute increments.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to reach out and find possibly a specialty, and so I talked to different friends who work in different specialties, and a hospice opportunity became available, and I really fell in love with it.
Well, I'm glad you did, and you fell in love with him too, so it was a bonus there. Kelly, while I got you here, and I want to ask both of you this, and I don't mean to be flippant about this, but because you're married, how does that affect the compassion that you have with patients, the time you spend with them, and the relationship? Help me with that.
So I work typically,
teamwork and the whole thing.
Yeah, I work typically in homes for the majority of my time, but I do round in our inpatient units as well sometimes. And Alex is primarily inpatient, so when we do that handoff and I'm going in after he's been there or vice versa, that's really helpful because we just have a really good communication about what the scenario is and what the family dynamics are and how we can support which family member really needs extra support, what the patient's really needing or struggling with. And so we just hand off really well.
Yeah, Doc, that familial / marital sort of teamwork is important in this, right?
It is, and I think the teamwork part is so important in medicine in general. Like for us, she has strengths that I don't have and vice versa. And I love hearing her opinion, just as I do the other physicians at hospice and the other nurse practitioners. And the nurses, of course. I value their opinion so much and listen to them because they'll see things that I don't see.
Right.
And they certainly have strengths that I don't have.
Doc, what about common misperceptions that people might have about hospice? Again, I'm prejudiced because I've been through this with both parents. But what do you think people get wrong about hospice?
I think the biggest misconception that I see is that families sometimes thinks this is where physicians and the medical community is giving up. Actually, it's just the opposite.
Right.
It's actually where we give more care, more attention, and more attention to detail. And it's where we realize we have to shift our focus of care. And it's actually where we give a lot more care to families and to the patient. And a lot of times they have better outcomes. They really do.
I know with my parents, not to get too personal, but with the situation with my parents, the hospice team became part of the family.
Yeah.
And I know that must have been draining on the hospice team, and how do you guys support each other away from work when you've gone through this with families?
Well, we definitely listen to each other. So sometimes our dinner time conversations might be sort of emotional debriefing when there's something really hard that we've had to deal with.
Right. You can't get away from it. Yeah.
Right, but it's good to have someone who really understands, who knows the work, so you can really talk to that person. And obviously, for confidentiality purposes, talking to a teammate is appropriate. And then we really support each other in just doing our own life-giving things. So for me, that might be going to Pilates or yoga, and for him, he might go run in the mountains or go camping.
So you like to run?
Oh yeah.
That's how you de-stress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I just appreciate the work that you two do together, and for so many people, for patients and families, I can't tell you. I want to put this up on screen before I go too long here. MountainValleyHospice.org. It's mtnvalleyhospice.org is up on screen, and I hope you will visit that site with lots of portals for information. Dr. and Mrs. Nurse Waite, it's difficult. How do you address Christmas cards to the two of you?
Alex and Kelly.
Alex and Kelly, that's right. Thanks for doing this seriously.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you to catch my column Longworth at Large and Yes Weekly every week. It's available throughout the Triad, or you can go online, yesweekly.com. Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the roundtable, but a quick shout out to the good folks here at Curtisville Auto Museum. Please come out and see this place. It's free Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You'll love it. You'll love this crowd too. And on my immediate right, I don't know if you'll love Dave, but Dave Briggs, Mr. Theater, is with us, has his own consulting business. President CEO of Shift Ed is here once again. Our special guest, Wendy Poteet, and Bob Shackelford. Dr. Bob Shackelford, former president of Randolph Community College, has his consulting business too, not with Dave. All right, first topic. Greensboro's new mayor stirred up some controversy last week when she said only the mayor should maybe be the spokesperson for council-related matters, that council members should seek her approval first before speaking publicly. She backed off a little bit after that, but the question is, do you agree with that approach, Dave?
Not a bit. The people who are elected by the citizens of Guilford County have a right to hear what their commissioners have to say.
All right, Wendy?
I think the city council members should speak for their districts. So I think that everybody should have a say and speak for the people and their constituents that voted for them.
Bob?
It's a little different with elected officials, but most organizations have designated official channels of communication.
Yeah.
Right. Well, in your case, Wendy, I mean, folks have to be approved by you before they go out and speak for Shift Ed, but you're saying the difference is, of course, these are elected officials. All right, at a recent gun show in Winston-Salem, one of the vendors had on display merchandise that contained overtly racist language. I saw it. No law was broken, but in these kind of cases, should cities revoke exhibitor permits if such material is allowed in the show? Dave?
This is a tough one. I mean, this is a Second Amendment issue. Freedom of speech, but my goodness, people vote with their dollars, and I tell you what, if I was running that gun show, I'd be very critical and perhaps not let that vendor come back.
Wendy?
Of course, I think that it shouldn't have been there or allowed there, but I think it goes to the freedom of speech piece. Like, people have the right to sell and distribute what they want as if it's not illegal.
Legally, it's complicated. The content of offensive language is protected. Where it crosses the line is if it is likely to incite violence or if it is targeted discrimination. To wear a t-shirt that says something offensive is protected by law, but then if you go and say something offensive to someone or you don't let someone come to your table, that's targeted.
All right. Late last month, the Pentagon officially severed its ties with Scouting America, formerly known as the Boy Scouts, because of their policy on admitting girls into the organization. The Pentagon says that their policy is, quote, an attack on boy-friendly spaces. You agree with any of that assessment, Dave?
I have a real issue with this, I have Eagle Scouts in my family. The Pentagon's been working with the Scouting since 1937. They provide space for them. They provide resources. And I have issues with this. We'll see what Congress says.
Wendy.
I think they need to figure out a way to continue to work. Historically, they've always worked with Scouting America. As a former Girl Scout, I understand kind of both sides, but I think they need to come to a middle ground.
Yeah. Would you have joined the Boy Scouts when you were a little girl?
Absolutely not.
No, I agree. All right, Bob.
I think the Pentagon's got a lot more problems on their hand than the Boy Scouts.
Well,
amen.
That's true. All right, swatting is on the rise in America. That's when someone calls 911 to report a fake emergency, such as domestic violence. Many of these calls are made in order to embarrass and harass elected officials. In North Carolina, swatting is just a misdemeanor. Guys and gals, would you like to see it upgraded to a felony? Dave?
I think it's a felony. You're taking resources from the town to go and look after these people. These people are innocent. That needs to be a felony.
All right, Wendy.
I agree. It should be a felony. You're putting people at risk and in danger. It's
Oh,
something
absolutely.
really bad happening.
Yeah, giving out people's addresses and all that stuff. Bob, what do you think?
It should be a felony. Keeping the 911 channels clear can be a matter of life and death.
Absolutely.
All right, and finally, according to a recent report by CNN, witchcraft is on the rise in America. Guys and gals, have you ever met a witch, Dave?
Yes, actually, I have worked with one person who is a self-proclaimed witch.
I know that you're filling in for Ogie today, and that's exactly what he was saying.
I know you said that. At least I didn't marry one.
Well, no, I mean you didn't. Your wife Elizabeth is here. She
That's
is
right.
certainly
She is.
not a witch.
No.
She's all right. Wendy, have you ever met a witch?
It's witch. That's what you said.
Witch, yeah.
No, others. No, not a witch.
No. Now, Wendy, Bob, have you ever met a witch?
I think I've dated a couple. I think that because they cast a spell on me and it didn't turn out so well.
They cast a spell on them. All right, well, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. Last week, a raccoon, you probably heard about this, a raccoon broke into a Virginia ABC store, knocked over a bunch of the bottles, and sopped up all the liquor, got drunk, and passed out on the floor. The next morning, the officials came and captured him, and the reporters asked the officials, said, what was a raccoon? Why was he coming into an ABC store? And the official said he was looking for wild turkey and a gray goose. Now, my wife, Pam Cook, actually wrote that, so she gets credit for that. Pam Cook, the comedy writer. For all of us here, Triad Today. We'll see you next week.